So, what I do for a living, I do trainings. I train personnel and companies, and the direction of the training that I do is safety awareness. Or one may say industrial safety, but I don't do the technicalities of industrial safety, like specifics, electric safety or chemical safety, or working on the heights, or driving on the tight enclosed spaces, safety, nothing on that. It's more of the awareness that we can use to be safe. And good thing is that the same awareness we can use not only in heavy industry, but in our everyday life. So, silly question to ask would be, who wants to be safe in his life? Are there any people here who want to be safe? Better safe than sorry? Yeah? No? No comprende? Well, anyway, safe. So, we'll have...
I propose sometimes, because you may be too foreigners, but when you have an important expression like this one, maybe you want some translation or something, like better safe than sorry, or when you do, just, yeah, because some people don't get it.
Oh, it was a joke. It's not a part, it's not part of the seminar. But
That's funny.
So, and we'll have hour and a half, yeah, quarter to 2, hour 20 minutes conversation here that may lead to some discoveries. That may lead to some discoveries that you can use in your life, in everyday life, and in any other part of your life, if safety is of interest to you. And first, I will suggest that we'll examine some accidents. That's what people do in industrial safety. They tend to spend a lot of time and money examining and investigating accidents. So, you'll have a partner. Your partner sits next to you. You're lucky with your partner. Some are not, but as they say, tough luck. And I suggest that you will take 5 minutes to do the same work twice, one towards another. What is the work? So you remember any accident that happened to you personally in your life. What does mean an accident? You cut a finger. You bruised your forehead. You jammed your car into a truck. You broke your leg, or whatever. Any accident that happened to you in your life, not a fantasy, just something that really happened. You tell it to your partner, and your partner will play a role of a so-called expert on safety. He will give you a reason for that accident. Is that clear? Mm-hmm. He will tell you, I think the reason is such and such, and you'll write it down. You have paper, so you tell an accident, you'll get the expert's opinion, what's the reason is, so write down the reason. Do you have a question?
Main reason, one reason, or?
Well, you can come with any number of reasons, 2, 3, 4, just write them down. But it's easier to work with one. Anybody who doesn't understand the task? No? Okay, 5 minutes? Yes?
Only one accident?
Yes, yes. If you get this work with one accident, then you can use it to provide safety in your future life. It doesn't matter. Okay, 5 minutes? No, yes, stop.
Is it 5 minutes in all?
Yeah, 5 for 2 of you. It's
for the 2.
Yeah, but if we're short on time, then we'll have some more time. But we have only hour and 20 minutes, and I would like to jam a lot of stuff into this. 5 minutes, 2 partners, expert in safety. Please work.
One accident, and give some explanation. So
I've got an accident that I made with my car. About 2 years ago. I was exited from the motorway. I was driving behind another car. And we had to like come on another street. And I was looking if no other car comes. And the woman in front of me, there was no car coming, but instead of driving, she stopped and I drove into her. You know the situation, you're looking at it like, you look and the car is stopped and I was was there French to Spanish. Because there was it's not a stop sign, but like a sign. So the problem is that you focus on the driver from the left side should put the car, and you didn't pay attention at the same time because you got sway, but both legs at the same driver. Okay. Was it possible for you to watch for the driver on the left side before reaching the end of the road? Because you know when the driver in front of you reaches the end of the road, she needs to stop and to find the appropriate moment to go out. You understand what I mean? You know that you have to pay attention to the driver in front of you because if she stops, you need to get aware of that very quickly, but at the same moment you lose the driver to the left. But seeing that, the driver in front of you that have to pay attention to the driver from left. It's not the it's not from the driver in front of you. So you did her job and
Half
you
of the
did
time
your
is
job.
gone, so if you switch to another partner, half of the time is
First should have been her, and then when I got there, Can you reason was you had the accident or not? I could ask why didn't I wait for the other car to disappear? I was already ready to go around. So you forget for one moment the driver in front of you. I was I think we right. So far on my left it was I would say it's common for me when I played judo. I had a problem with my knee, left knee, because judo, when you make projects, you need to put your opponent on the part of your back, and you need to be equivalent with one leg. And because you got sensible leg, it can affect your leg and it can injure you that you can't practice judo for a long time. It's not maybe it's just that you do the movement that you want to or it's the problem with your leg. Yeah, that's true. I have a leg in weighted there. That's my directing in the knee or your leg? Knee. they go. It's like it's intern. Intern, it's like that, and like that, not like that. Something like that. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, yeah. And what happens? So first, I make some radio, and they told us we have sensitivity of oriented in outside. So we know the action. Yeah, you're right. So you have to find a yeah, and happens. Yes. That's the accident. Yes. That's the accident. But compared to you, I mean, I couldn't have known before. Yeah. So do you think it's relevant? So what would be the explanation? Okay. I think we did the job. I guess it's easy.
Now this, you have 30 seconds left. Just bring it to a close. 30 seconds left.
Okay, we have to.
Make sure that you put your reason on paper.
The recommendation.
Yeah, we have to write down. Huh?
Yes, and you tell me what you recommend, and I tell you what I recommend.
Do you write
Okay, I write down.
yes, we have to write that.
Okay, and
So you wrote
Thank your
mine,
partner.
and I wrote yours.
any way that you choose. Don't lose your partner. You will need him later on in the workshop. And let's talk about what you've just discovered talking with your partner. Briefly, the accident. We don't need all the details, but just the very essence of the accident. And what was the reason that your expert called you like that's why it's happened? Anybody? Well, I just ask you to share something of what you just discussed with your partner, briefly the accident and the reason. Luca, please.
Yeah, my accident?
Your accident and the reason.
Yes. I was running with my motorbike, and when I stopped it, I put my feet too wide, and I lost the balance of my motorbike, and it fell down, hurting my ankle.
Okay, so you hurt your foot. Yeah. Okay, and the expert, what did he say? What's the reason for that?
The reason for that is that I didn't consider well or enough the interaction between the vehicle and the environment, looking at the different type of ground where I stopped.
Can we put it in one word?
I didn't consider the interaction in one word.
How would we call that? How would we call a person who didn't consider?
The distracted. I didn't pay attention.
Okay, not enough attention.
Not enough attention.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Yes, please.
Well, my accident was also related to riding a bike
Uh-huh.
when I was little, and I wasn't paying attention on the road, so I hit a tree,
Okay,
fell over, and hurt my leg.
okay, and the expert says,
The expert says that the main reason for that is that I wasn't thinking of what I was doing.
wasn't thinking of what I was doing.
Yeah,
How do we call that in one word?
I was distracted.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Inattention, not paying attention, distraction. Thank you. Anybody else? This side? No? Secret accidents here? Yes, please, Klaus.
I was diving off a jetty and I hit the rock and I broke my neck.
Oh.
I became paralyzed.
Yeah. So, did the expert say anything as a reason for that?
Yeah. Again, calculated risks versus uncalculated risks.
Yeah.
I like to take risks and I took the risk. And was it calculated or was it uncalculated?
Okay, so the expert said uncalculated risk.
No good. Better with calculated risk.
Okay, okay. Not cautious enough? I don't know, I'm just...
No, I mean, incorrect information.
Incorrect information. That's the reason. Okay. Okay. Yes, please.
I was riding a small bike, motorbike, yeah, small motorbike, and I fell off it due to the sand on the road. Basically on the spot. I just started off and I basically fell on the spot.
Immediately?
Immediately due to the sand. And the expert said that was due to the lack of consciousness.
Lack of consciousness. Okay, great. So I can ask more and more examples, but the purpose of this conversation would be to come up with a list of reasons that are most popular reasons for accidents. Not theoretical stuff, but just practical stuff. So if we just call the reasons and in any order, please make it short, like 1 word, 2 words max, but different reasons for accidents. So what would be on the list?
Attention.
Huh?
Attention.
Lack of attention.
Lack of attention, okay. Anybody else? Yes?
Not knowing medical services.
Not knowing medical services.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. Would
Lack
that
of knowledge,
go
yeah.
more general, but it's not only about... Okay. Lack of knowledge.
Wrong gear.
Wrong?
Wrong gear.
Wrong year?
No, gear.
Gear. Yeah, okay. Wrong gear. Yes?
With this lack of attention, I would like to face the opposite of too much attention on another thing. Is that, can you use that as well?
Okay.
I was too focused on my problem.
Too focused.
on other
Okay. Too focused. Yes?
Excessive emotion.
Emotions and excessive emotions.
Excessive emotion.
Okay. And how do you spell that?
XC.
Excessive emotions. Great. Yes?
Physical condition.
Like what?
Migraine.
Migraine. Yes. Headache. I don't know how to spell migraine. So.
M-I-G-R.
Headache. Okay.
French word.
Yes.
Not a headache. Excitement.
Excitement. Excitement. Okay. Excitement. You know, I have this trainer's thing that when I don't know how to spell it, I just scribble.
Yeah.
And then everybody knows that...
Just fake it.
Yeah, until we make it. Absolutely, yes?
Impatience.
Impatience. Impatience.
C-E.
C-E. Okay. Yes.
Bad physical condition.
Like what?
Due to a lack of exercise?
Okay.
Rigidity. Physical rigidity.
Rigidity. Physical... Oh my God, where... We need more paper here, yeah? Physical... Can somebody actually... I got an idea.
In the secretary?
Yeah. Can somebody write it for me, please? Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton. I'm sorry. Physical weakness and physical rigidity. Physical conditions, physical weakness, physical rigidity. That's great. Great. Yes?
Miscalculated risks.
Miscalculated risks. Perfect.
Drug abuse.
Drug abuse, alcohol abuse, under substances. Yeah? Anybody had accident under substances? Not that I'm...
Never.
I'm gonna tell you. No, it's not.
Okay, great. What are some other reasons? Yes?
Acting without thinking.
Acting without thinking. How do we call that? Acting without thinking. Stupidity. Silliness.
Absent-mindedness. Absent-minded.
Idiocy. Acting without thinking. No, I'm not telling that you should call that, but you know, in everyday life, if your friend, whatever, cuts a finger, and usually he says, "Oh, I was so stupid. I took a sharp knife and I didn't do what you're supposed to do with sharp objects." So, okay.
Absent-mindedness, no.
Acting without thinking. Okay, let's put it this way. Okay, going deeper, yes.
Acting without thinking can be recklessness.
Recklessness. Perfect. That's a good one. That's it. Yes.
Something like an opposite of excitement, depression.
Depression
Or some, yeah.
Depression. Recklessness, yes. Recklessness.
Less.
Ness.
Aggressivity.
Aggression.
Aggressiveness.
Aggressiveness. Yes, big time. Anybody had accidents because of aggressiveness?
Yes.
Male thing in this culture? No? You had some? Yes. Aggressivity, recklessness. Okay? Irresponsible behavior. Did I hear?
Yeah, I was trying to explain recklessness, but I guess...
Okay, but it goes there. Okay, and do you see that we can go with this list on and on and on and on?
Yes.
And trust me on that accident investigation really goes depth into looking for reasons what causes an accident. And they have pretty standard list of many things that they think if we find out what reason, what caused that accident, then we have something to do with that. Bad news is that no matter how much reasons we find, statistics show that the accident rate doesn't go down. So maybe we should spend some time thinking and exploring and investigating our own accidents and hopefully come with some universal reason that will help us avoid accidents in the future. Would that be of interest for you? Yes? No? Captive audience? No escape from this workshop? Okay. But one thing that I would like to mention or point out is that if you look at this list of reasons, lack of attention, lack of knowledge, wrong gear, too focused, excessive emotions, headache, excitement, impatience, thank you, physical conditions, physical rigidity, physical weakness, miscalculated risk, drug abuse, acting without thinking, recklessness, aggressiveness, irresponsible behavior. Question that I would like you to ask. When we look at this list, do we think what is written here is good or bad?
Bad.
Good or bad?
Bad.
Leila?
But
Bad?
those things.
Yeah, those things.
Well, common
Are
sense.
they considered generally Are there good things or bad things?
Bad thing.
Bad things.
Bad things.
Except for drugs.
Thank you. Now we know that. Okay. And it is a very interesting phenomenon that we are working on eliminating accidents. We're working on safety, looking for the reasons, finding reasons, and then considering them something bad or wrong, trying to eliminate that. And the statistics show us that our work eliminating this is not very successful. Any questions on that so far? Yes?
Why should statistics be an authority?
What?
Why do you refer to the statistics? Is it an authority?
Well, because that's my job. My job is to come to a company and work with the company in order to change the statistics. The goal of my work, what we call, it's zero statistics. What does it mean, zero statistics? Nobody gets hurt. Every person who comes to a steel plant, 35,000 personnel, 8 hours shifts, around the clock working. Everybody at the end of his shift comes back to his family, safe, sound, all fingers attached, arms, limbs, spinal, no problem. That's the goal. How do we measure that goal? With 35,000 workers in one place, we take statistics. Year 2004, how many accidents, how many fatal accidents, how many injuries. Year 2006, and we'll look at the statistics as a reflection of the efficiency of the work that we do in safety.
What did the statistics show? I didn't get it.
The usual or everyday approach to safety that is based on the reasons for accidents is something bad, is something wrong. And it's very, I would say it's very universal. If you look at, I think, my guess would be school children, misbehavior is bad. Lack of attention is bad. So we need to force attention that as a alternative to bad behavior, we need to force in good behavior.
Yeah.
But pretty much the same in industry. This is bad stuff, we need to force in some good stuff, and it's not working. Well, and we'll not go into that now, but if we have time, and I'm really will be glad to answer any questions on that. But let's do a little exercise exploring some of human condition that every one of us could notice in himself or herself. So we'll have a little video here. And it's not just for entertainment. It's a task that I would like you to perform. It's a little exercise. And how does it go? You take a pen, yeah. You get a piece of paper ready, because you'll need it immediately after we stop the video. So what will be on the video? There's no surprises, I will tell you. There will be 6 people on this. There are 2 teams of 3 people each. Actually, if anybody of you have seen this video, I will ask you to keep silent and just, to let your neighbors, people around you, do the exercise. As it will make, it will create more value for them rather than you telling them the right answer. So this exercise we'll do in silence, no talking, no counting allowed. Please count it silently inside your head. So there will be 2 teams, 1 team in black shirts, 1 team in white shirts. Each team will have a basketball. and teams will pass the ball among their team. So black shirts will pass to black shirts, white shirts will pass to white shirts. Your goal is to count how many passes the white team did over this video. So when the video is over, immediately you write down the number without checking with your neighbors. Okay, what do you think? When you no consultations here. Can I say that? No consultations here. Sort of that. Just it's an individual work. You count the passes. You put it down. Okay. Any questions on the exercise? Yes.
May I have a pen?
Yes, you may. Please.
Thank you very much.
And is it okay if we move this?
Sure. So, the question that I would ask if I would you would be, what is a pass? That's important for the task. A pass is when a ball from a white team member changes its hands to hands of another person, white shirt. So the pass could be over the air, the pass could be bouncing off the floor, but if somebody is trying to pass but then catches its own pass, it's not a pass, because the ball didn't change the player. Is that clear? Yes?
But if he's trying to score a goal and another...
There's no goal there. They're only passing the ball. There are 3 people, white shirts, passing the ball. Bouncing off the floor. One time they will see that it will hit the back of a black player and he'll grab it back. So it's not a pass. Only how many times the ball will change hands of a white player. Clear?
You don't want to make it bigger by going back, no? You have enough white? No, just the whole table. You can move the whole table.
Let's see. Well, it's just I don't want it to go on the red thing.
Take away some sheets.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Is that it?
Going. Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Everybody will see. Okay.
Anyway.
Ready?
And you can make it full screen. And you don't make it full screen?
It will be just too blurry. It will be now. Okay. So be very attentive because the passing will start the moment it will start. Count them and put them on your piece of paper. So would you
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ready? You ready? Please. Okay, write it down, please. And without talking to your neighbor, let's examine what we've got. So, how many of you got 9 passes? 1, 2, 3 people. Excuse me, how many of you got less than 9? 8, 7? Okay, great. So my dear, okay, how many?
6.
6. 6 passes 1 person, a 7.
Change field pen.
Say what?
Can you change your field pen?
You want to...
Oh yeah. Sure.
You got a thing there.
I'm easy.
Yeah.
I'm easy, yeah. Is that better?
Yes.
So this is passes, this is how many people? Yeah? 7. 0. 8. Okay, 9. 1, 2, 3. 3 people. 10. 1, 1. 1 person. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. 12. 1, 2. Okay? 2. It tries out. So that.
Take the big one.
2 people. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. 14. None. Okay, sorry. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. 16. 1. 17. 18, 19, 19. 19. 1. More than 19, anybody? 20, 21, 22? Well, we have a problem here. And in terms of safety, we have a major problem here. Let's examine that. Would that be a correct statement that we people walk on, go on life? We have, well, reality. No, I think it's about the paper. We have reality, and then we have our reaction. So the reality, what's happening around us, causes us to react. So our reaction is caused by the reality. Would that be a correct statement to say? Yes, no? Thank you. Reality causes reaction. We in life, we go into events. It could be said events or facts or something happening, and then what's happening causes us to react. Yes?
Does reaction include no reaction?
No reaction, yeah. I decide not to react. I mean, reaction is not something like I react.
Okay.
It's like, I use industrial examples. When this red light will go on, you press this green button.
Sure.
Red light goes on, I react.
Sure.
I press the green button. That's kind of industrial thing. But it's pretty universal. It goes far beyond any industrial application. Would that be a correct suggestion? Yes? No? Okay. Then what's happened? 20 plus people are present to the same reality. Was this the same video for every one of us?
Yes.
Nobody was watching separate, like in, separate, same. And then I asked, what reality have you evidenced? How many passes? And say, 3 people say, we have 9 passes. And 4 people say, we have 15 passes. But do you see that there's a major problem in these 2 domains? If we think that we react based on reality, and we see the same reality, and then it's not the same reality for everyone. It's different. We are living in different worlds. Do you see that?
Yes.
Could it be dangerous?
Very dangerous.
Tell me about that.
Living in different, with the same reality, living in different worlds, of course.
Yes, like electricity. Somebody's working on the wiring,
Yes.
and somebody in the switch box,
Yes.
he said, okay, if I have seen 9 passes, I will switch the power off. But if I see 15 passes, I will not switch the power off. And the guy goes there and he knows that if 9 passes, it's safe to work on the wires. If 15 passes, it's dangerous. But then he sees the same reality and he thinks, oh, I'm safe, 9 passes, I'm okay. I can touch the wires with my bare hands. The guy who stands by the switchboard, he's pretty sure that he's seen 15 passes. So he puts 380 volts, or how much do you have in France?
220.
220, that's the domestic, industrial. 380, 450, 380, 1500 in some businesses. So, and the guy says, oh, 9 passes, I'm 6. That will be his last words. Okay, so luckily we have time, and we will determine the correct reality. So I will put it back, it's only 24 seconds back. From here, we'll go here, instructions. Yes? But please, be very, very attentive this time. Like, if you imagine that it could be a life or death matter for some people, or a matter of accident, you need to have a correct reality count. Is it clear? Everybody ready? Have your pen ready. As soon as the thing is over, you write down the correct number. Ready? Yeah? You want question? No, I mean, it starts immediately. It starts passing from the very first second. So that's why I'm paying a lot of attention to you being ready. Okay. So it goes. Write it down, please. Okay. We're getting to closer grip with reality now, yes? Everybody was attentive. No lack of concentration, focused, no drug abuse this time. Okay. 6 passes. How many of you counted 6 passes? Great. 7, 8, 9, 9. None. Okay, 10. Great. 11. 1, 2. I will put it here, okay? 2. 12. 1, 2, 2. 13. 1, 2, 3, 3. 14. 1, 2, 14. It's a little 2, okay? 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 15. 8. 16. None. 17. 8. Oh, 17. Okay, 2. 17. 2. 18. None. 19. More than 19? Okay, great. What do we see here? We have a problem. The problem is severe. First time, okay, great, please do an exercise. I'm doing. Second time, I'm telling you, what if life and death of certain people will depend on you being attentive? Same problem. It doesn't mean that, okay, we're narrowing the gap. For people who are touching the wires, it doesn't really matter how narrow the gap is. The gap is still there. So we can repeat that over and over and over again. And I've done it very, very many times with different groups of people. There is a gap between the reality, not this way, reality and our reactions. It's never like this. So, what do you think? What fills the gap? Yes?
Distraction.
Distraction, well, that would, okay, but Igor?
Reaction also influence the reality.
How could it be?
People react different, and people are
Differently?
part of differently, and people are the part of reality. The acting is a part of reality.
My question was, we are evidencing the same reality, but our reaction is different from whatever 9 passes to 17. So what's the key element that is absent on this piece of paper? Yes, Luca?
To be used to a certain kind of reality, the training on a kind of reality, to see what we have
Okay,
to
do you
see.
want me to show this video 3 more times?
I don't know.
I'll just, okay, I will save some time, but I will tell you. I did that with different groups of people, showing many times. And I was telling every time that get used to this reality. Okay, pay attention. You know how it looks like. Now count the passes. The thing is that it never goes down. It changes a little bit, but it never goes down.
The gap doesn't
Yes?
become small.
Yes, Francis?
The gap could be perception?
Yes! In school they have good marks for that answer. You see, right, correct, this is the right answer. But it is the right answer. We never base our reaction on reality. In fact, we're not in reality at all. All reality does, it leads to a certain perception. How do you spell it?
Yes, see, nice.
C-E. Yeah. And then our reaction is a product of our perception of reality. So this is the major idea in order to create safety in your life, for yourself, for people around you. The distinction between what is and what we think is, philosophically speaking. We're never in what is. We don't live in an objective world. We live in a subjective world, and subjective world is never equal to what is. It's just what one person thinks is. That's what is. And if we get that idea, then we can make specific steps towards creating safety in our life. But the first step would be being aware that what I think and what is never the same. In other words, if we look at these 2 circles, there is what is, or reality, and there is perception of reality, and for the most of the time, these 2 domains overlap. It's like, listen, this is a table. Yeah, this is a table. It's a rigid table. It is rigid table. It can hold stuff. Have you ever stepped on something that was suddenly breaking under you? So, think about it. Stepping on something. What did you step on? a breakable thing or rigid thing? Rigid. We are not no idiots. We don't step on breakable things just to break them for fun. We step on rigid things. That's our perception. And most of the time, our perception equals what is. They are rigid. They hold our weight. And that's the dangerous part of this whole thing. Because the more we guess right, the more we're becoming sure that my guess would be right the next time. And all the accidents, without exception, any accident happens in the gap between reality and perception. Yes?
But there's one thing, there's a very strong presupposition here, because you rejected both Igor and somebody else's statement, which has to do as well for what we do, which is from the concept of skills, which is underlying. And skills here, first of all, in general makes a big difference, but here too. For example, the second time, we learned better to work on this thing. We've seen it, one, in the result, in myself, I knew better, I knew what to expect, and therefore I knew better how to look. So I found
more passes.
I found 4 more passes.
Yes.
Because I started to know better, you know. So I don't understand why you want to make it just as just purely a question of perception, like some factual thing.
Okay.
Why you didn't take both Igor's action upon the situation and somebody more or less saying that you learn. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know why you only want to insist on perception, but not on how we act upon this. And indeed, then we have seen our things changing.
Of course, we see things changing. And let's do an exercise, experiment. Okay, let's count one more time.
Okay.
But now you're skillful in counting passes. You know how it looks? You can act changing the reality, yeah? Is that what you mean? Igor?
No, I mean that our behavior, which is based on our reactions, or our reactions, are the part of reality.
Yes.
We're acting differently in the reality.
Okay, I hear you. Can we act differently now and be extra attentive and count the real number? Yes? We don't know.
No. I just don't know how to explain it.
Go in Russian, I will speak.
It's not a language problem.
No. I have half an hour left. Maybe we'll just go. Yeah? Okay, great. Yes?
How about if we add experience to perception? Add. If we add experience to perception.
I don't get it. What do you mean add experience?
Like the second time we saw the video, we had the experience of the first time.
Yes, and we
so
added.
we were more
Yeah,
let's say, more
yeah,
skillful.
The perception second time was different from the perception first time.
Yes.
Yeah? Great. Did everybody count the same number of passes?
Not yet.
Not yet. So we're getting there. Is that what you mean? Mm-hmm. So, okay, great. Let's do it third time. Third time. This is the last call. We need to get the real picture of the reality. It could be dangerous if we don't get if we're like not in the real world. Okay? Great. How many passes? Oh no, that's okay. Okay. I think I started a bit too early, but okay. Ready? Everybody? Add previous experience. Accumulate skills. Count. Okay, write it down. We're up to something, huh? This is... Okay. Ready? Everybody wrote the room down? Okay, how many of you had 6 passes? None. 7? None. 8? Okay, 9. Great. 10. 11. 1. 12. Well, Max? No?
No.
Yeah, okay. 1. 13. 1, 2, 3. No? 3. 13. 3. 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 16. 1, 2. 17. 1. 18. 19. More than 19. Guys, we have a problem. We're not accepting this problem, but this is a big problem in safety.
And will you know the exact number of passes at the end of yours? No, because it's important to see the degree of distraction or attention. And so, because my second and third time was the same number.
Yes, and which one? What number was that?
15.
15.
The first was 11.
11, then it jumped to 15.
Second and third, and I was like this.
But
So,
okay.
for me, it's important to see
I understand
my
that.
degree. Yeah.
Do you see that it's not about the numbers? It's about us people living in our own perception, which quite often, I'm not saying every time, but philosophically speaking, it's always, because this is different domains. The reality and perception, they're different distinctions.
Yes, yes.
And the fact that is coincides most of the time, it's a very dangerous fact. Because it creates an illusion, which an illusion that I react based on reality. And this is very dangerous. So that's the only idea that I'm trying to deliver here is the idea that can save your life. I don't think it's a small idea, but it's the only idea. It's being aware of there is something between my reaction and reality, what we call perception. And if we are aware of that, if we can use this philosophical distinction in a practical way, then we can be safe. And the other thing, we can create safety for people around us. So, the main question of this video is the next question. How many of you, in 24 seconds of this video, have seen the gorilla? Raise your hands.
The what?
The gorilla.
What?
Big,
Yes.
hairy, black, gorilla. How many of you seen that? Okay, great. How many of you haven't seen that? Gorilla. How do you say gorilla in French? Gorilla.
There's a gorilla, supposedly.
I mean, if you see the gorilla, you put your hand up. If you haven't seen it, just don't put your hand up. Could it be dangerous? Just a question. Okay. You may count, you may not count, doesn't matter, but just watch this video for the 4th, and this is the final time.
Looking for the gorilla.
Maybe some of you will be surprised. Yeah, good.
But the first one?
all the time.
No.
4 times in front of your head. A gorilla walking, doing this, going, and you haven't seen it?
What's wrong with gorillas?
I haven't seen it.
No.
What's wrong with gorillas?
You know, and I was doing this seminar in a coal mining company. And at the end of this video, one guy came to me and said, listen, you are just bullshitting people. This is not a gorilla. This is a man dressed like a gorilla. So it's not dangerous. So I was, oh yeah, okay. Give me a break here. How many of you are surprised with what you just seen? Like really surprised.
I think it was not there before.
I know you think that. That's the whole work I'm doing. That's your perception it wasn't there. But if you trust that I was pressing the same video, and you know, sometimes, and people like you come to my trainings, I ask a volunteer to press the button. Then I'm kind of clear, he's covering me. Yes?
Actually, there's something funny, because my neighbor told me that, and it's funny what happened, because while I was counting, I have a vague impression that I saw some black things trenched there, right? Now that you say it, I didn't see it. I saw it, but I didn't see it.
But that's what Emil said. One of the reasons for accidents is I'm focused, my attention is very focused on something.
Yes.
Like the new drivers, they are so focused on shifting gears and, you know, look in front of them, they can turn through the truck. You know, like they don't see it. Yes?
That
That's a good start.
conditions, the scientific conditions in which you make that proof, I have some objection because the instructions were very clear.
Yes.
To count, and you were counting, especially with your eyes, in 20 seconds, practically in
Absolutely.
1 second. So it's impossible when you go by car, driving on the road. Maybe you will have a complete landscape to see a gorilla, not a gorilla.
Doesn't happen like this in our everyday life. We're focused on some task, and we consider this task very important, and we pay the attention to the task we're doing, and then accidents happen.
Yes.
Why? Because we don't see outside of what we perceive is important and is not important. And I'm not blaming you for not seeing the gorilla, just between you and me. When I first saw this thing, I was ready to kill the trainer because I was sure he was tricking me. Like, I'm a normal person. I see what I see, and it's no gorillas there. I'm no cuckoo.
No, people want to kill people for that.
Yeah. But it's the same video. Yes, Ivan.
I'm sorry.
You should be sorry.
Ivan, yes,
Wrong.
because did you make this proof without giving instructions, or you simply put a video, and what did you see after the video? Could you see
How many questions?
how many classes, about the persons, about the tasks or the actions of the persons, about gorilla or everything? Without instructions, what did you see?
Okay, I haven't done that.
And to check.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I don't know. But it's not the point that I'm making. It doesn't matter.
But it should, it would be interesting.
Of course.
Something like this.
Because
you said before going to the video, many persons could have seen it before, yes?
Yeah.
Are there persons who have seen it before? Yes?
Couple?
Well, then
3, 4.
maybe the difference is important.
Well, maybe.
We could check if the gap was shorter or bigger with the person
thing
who
is-
had, no?
Are there gorillas in Peru?
I don't know, Carmen. Carmen
Oh,
From
Santiago.
Argentina.
Argentina, sorry, Argentina.
Oh,
No.
yes, in the government, huh?
So, do you see that it's not about counting balls on the screen? It's not about gorillas there. It's about self-awareness. It's about being aware that I think the world is a certain way. It's not. And this is the main reason, first, for all the accidents, when I think it is this way and it's not. And the awareness of that gap allows us to bring these two things closer together. How can we do that? Bring things closer together.
Yes. Is it possible?
Any ideas?
Yes.
How?
Working on.
Slow down the video.
It's not about the video. It's, listen,
Yes.
you had
Yes.
accidents. You had accidents, yes?
Yes.
You told them to your partner. So the work that I'm offering you right now to do a little exercise, if you look at this at this idea and examine your accident through this idea, and being an expert for your partner, expert in safety, would you please, in two-sided conversation, discover and tell the person where is the gap? Where's the gap between reality and what he thinks or thought or she thought before the accident or while the accident happened about the reality? Is this assignment clear?
No.
No? Okay.
That's the question.
Maybe example. Like Klaus, can I be playing Jakoba here? Yeah, like an expert. Klaus had an accident, diving into the water of a jet ski, whatever, and there was a rock under the water. So if I would be Jakoba in this exercise, what I would say, listen, Klaus, the perception that you had was this, the water with no rocks. That's the only reason why you dove into the water. You're not an idiot jumping head first into the rocks, you're diving into the water. That's your perception. The reality was that there was a rock under the surface that was invisible, and the most important thing, that being an expert in safety, you don't blame that person. You don't make him wrong or bad or stupid or excessively emotional or idiotic or not being attentive enough or whatever. It's not that. It's a very neutral thing. You were in one reality, in one perception of reality, the reality was different. Is it clear now? What I ask you to do, being an expert in safety for the accident that you are investigating?
Okay.
Clear? Everybody? Questions?
I have a question.
Just a second. Yes?
Excuse me, I have some contradiction here. Because perception is intentionally choosing some things and ignoring the other things.
Yes.
And if you think it's a kind of danger for human beings, perception, the definition of perception is somehow this. You choose intentionally something and ignoring the other things.
Well, yes. And what I'm attempting to do is to create an awareness of what to choose. But investigating the accident that had happened in the past, you chose what you have chosen to perceive. It's done already. Is it clear? So we're not changing perception of the past, it's already in the past. But we can learn something, investigating what was my perception of the reality when that accident happened. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, great. 5 minutes, yes?
Can I ask also last question before the task? For example, if someone is like, may I raise my problem with my partner? Because if I consider that the reason for the accident was that he was thinking about the victory in the competition, and that's why he was focused on it, and so he got into trouble.
Just a second.
Yeah.
There is a few links missing. Yes, you were thinking about the winning in the competition. Yes, he was focused on that. But if the accident happened, it means that there is a gap. That's the idea that I'm offering you. Just if you accept that idea, then try to examine it. What was the gap between what and what? What was the real reality, in brackets, in parentheses, and what was his perceived reality, and so that this accident happened?
I think he just didn't think about the surroundings around him.
I'm sure.
It's not just he thought they are safe and they were not safe, so there was a gap. It's just he didn't think at all about it.
Okay.
Because he was focused on the victory.
Like
we were not thinking about seeing gorillas.
Okay.
There's no gap that we thought there's no gorilla and there is gorilla. It's just we thinking about other stuff.
Let's see. Let's make it practical. Yeah. So it's not theoretical like general thing. What was the accident? It was Max's accident. Yeah. Maybe you're expert in this accident.
Yes.
So
please
shoot at me.
I fell on my road bike.
In Switzerland.
In Switzerland, yes, you know.
Yes, I know. So that was the accident.
Yes, on the descent.
Descent, going down.
Going down, and another biker turned, and
the biker slid under you, hit your bike, you fell, half of your body was like drowned on the blacktop, but you finished the race. Yes, that's good news. Okay, so what was Max's perception of the reality so that this accident happened? Anybody? Yes. Emily.
That there weren't going to be another biker? Turning, yeah.
He's going in a pack, yeah?
Mm.
The biker is right next to him. They're turning on descent, going down.
Okay,
yeah, but
I didn't hear the entire explanation.
there is another bike, but his perception of another biker was what?
He's going in line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other bikers go straight, they don't fall. Why? Because 99% of the time when we see bike races or we do biking, they don't fall. And our perception that they don't fall coincides with the reality. They don't fall. And that makes us very sure that they will not fall. So I'm on my descent, driving my bike on the outer curve of another biker, perceiving that he will not fall. The reality. That's the easy part.
Did fail.
That motherfucker did fall. Excuse me. Are we allowed to say that? What? Biker. Fall. Fell. Slid onto my bike, hit me off my bike, I fell head over heels and all that. Did I blame Maxus for perceiving another biker as a stable, constant, continuous, moving? No.
Well, explicitly, you're saying he's not very smart.
No. No, I'm not saying that. That's the very. Yes.
No problem.
That's the very key component of this work. It's not him being stupid. And I'm not accusing him or blaming him for that or even mentioning that. Everybody all the time sees the reality not the way it is. So if we accept that, then we can develop a routine of checking in the reality. Well, actually, that's... we can do that.
You want to turn it up?
Yeah. So we'll get back to that. We have 6 minutes left, but I would ask you first to do this practical work with your partner. You remember his accident, or he can remind you his accident, but this time, just investigate and show him to the maids. What was his perception, her perception? What is the real reality? Real reality is simple. His perception is a bit more complicated. Questions on that? No? 5 minutes? 2.5, please. If you have questions, you can just ask me.
You don't think there was perception of my next problem? I wasn't aware of that, so I couldn't react.
No, just you ask him about his accident. And then you tell him what was his perception of the reality. And what was the reality so that it's not blaming him, just showing him this is what will be.
But I don't know. That it's only and you can work when you ask for help, and next when you are talking, you can ask you didn't pay attention to the right I have a problem, I think, with your accident, because I don't see a gap between reality and perception. Yes, the choice doesn't have nothing to do. We have a problem when the accident is happened because because of a choice of priority. For instance,
just shoot the accident. Tell me the accident.
For instance,
I drive my car, there's a road, and there's a car in front of me.
Yes.
Instead of looking at the car in front of me, I look at the car coming. If there is any car coming, so I lose sight from
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So it's an easy piece of cake. Really. Sure. What was Nelson's perception of the situation in front of his car?
no perception.
Huh?
No perception because he was focused.
Perception is always. Perception is always. Okay. He perceived the situation, his view at the situation. He's turning his car, he's looking whether there are cars coming that way. There's no cars coming, so he's speeding, and then boom, he hits the car that stands in front of him. Yes? So his perception of this situation was what? He's coming to intersection. Yeah. There's a car in front of him. He remembers that. He looks there. There's no cars coming. So his perception of the situation in front of him at that very moment was what?
The car is being driving and
yes. Yes. That's his perception. Because there is no incoming traffic, this car will be driving, speeding up, getting on a highway. That's very, very common thing. So he perceived that driver as a driver who will speed up to get on the highway. That's perception. What is the reality? The car stopped. And that's the gap in which the accident happens. You hit in a standing car, thinking that this car should be moving fast.
But it seems as if it's a lack of perception that...
You know, perception is not something good or bad, more or less. Perception is what you see. But
with
you
the
see...
senses or with the knowing, because I was not looking at the car.
Yes, yes.
Still I was perceiving it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a mental picture of the universe. It's a mental picture of what's happening. Like on the screen, I was counting balls. Did you see the gorilla? It wasn't there. Wait a moment, your eyes saw the gorilla, but your brain didn't perceive the gorilla because I was interested in incoming traffic.
But in my case, I was not even looking at the car.
Yes.
I was looking at the other
Absolutely,
car.
absolutely. But listen, are you an idiot? Yes, no? No, no. If not looking, but you knew that there's a car standing, would you go like that? No. You weren't looking, but you knew that there's no car there. That's perception.
Okay. Another problem is for my accident. I had sensitive knee that I didn't know before.
Yes.
So how could I be far away from aware that I have sensitive knee before?
Yeah, I got it. It's not about how to put up, but I have a sensitive knee.
Yeah.
But I perceived my knee as what kind of knee? Normal.
Yeah.
And I jumped on that leg, thinking or perceiving that leg as a normal knee, and it broke or whatever, joints, ligaments, whatever. And then that's the accident. The gap between my, in reality, sensitive ligaments and my perception, my ligaments are okay. Do you see that?
So does it mean that most of the time it's always a gap between reality?
Yes, that's the idea. Isn't it great?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys. If you've done your job, please, okay, great, thank your partner. If you started this work and you have problems, you have questions, it's not really clicking in. Let's discuss that really quickly. Because I did a couple of discussions personally with Mali here, with Nelson. Anything that is not clear on this concept? Yes? Yes, please.
We defined our perceptions and we defined our reality.
Yes.
And we defined the gap between perception
Yeah.
and reality. And what should we do with it?
Okay, great. That's a great question. That's what I'm leading to. But did anybody have problems distinguishing reality and perception?
No.
Went fine? May I share some examples? May I share your examples? Just may I share? Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Nelson, coming to an intersection, getting on the highway, and there's a car in front of him, and he looks at the highway, there's no cars coming in, he speeds up, crashes into the car standing in front of him. What's the perception, what's the reality? I'm just checking.
The perception was that the road in front of him was empty.
Absolutely. Or the car is speeding up.
Yes.
And he wasn't even looking. It should speed up, getting on the highway when there's no incoming traffic. Yeah?
Yes. He assumed.
Assume, that's a good word. And the reality is that this idiot was standing there. Excuse me. Excuse the word idiot. Yeah, okay. The car was standing there. I didn't know my knee had weak ligaments. So I jumped on my knee and something went wrong in my knee. And I had an accident, tearing a ligament or whatever. What's the perception? What's the reality?
The
perception was that the knee was okay.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I know he did. I would not jump on my knee knowing all along that it's weak. Jumping on my leg with weak, in reality, ligaments, I perceive they're okay. The reality is they're not okay. They break. Okay, clear on that. The question that Maxim asked, what shall we do with that? Any suggestions?
Increase awareness.
Increase awareness, great theory, but in practical terms, increasing awareness, what can we do practically?
Prevention programs.
In theory, prevention problem, but in practice, that's...
Staying at home.
Huh?
Stay at home.
Oh, staying home, yeah.
Train your perception.
Yes, well, train your perception, good thing, but no matter how you train your perception, you perceive it same way.
Change the reality.
Okay, now I know.
So are we supposed to guess the right answer?
No, I'm just, if you look at these two things, the perception and the reality, they're not the same. What can we do in order to provide safety for ourselves and other people around us?
Well, change the reality was a joke, but in fact I'm thinking as a mother now with my son, I often change things around so that is,
Well, yes, of course, that's one of the ways.
Foresee.
Absolutely.
I try to foresee things.
Take sharp objects away from the little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. But here we're talking about safety awareness. Yes?
I think you're an accomplice of Oscar, because an obvious answer is not to be in a rush. So you're
one of the answers could be not to be in a rush, yes. But, okay, maybe this is not a philosophical thing. Maybe there is an answer that...
It sounds like it.
Yeah, but talking about the gap between the perception and the reality, can we become aware of it's our responsibility to check, and check consistently, check on our perception, or not our mind, because I'm talking about me, whether it is close to reality or not. And if it's not close, then I do consistent work of bringing my perception closer and closer and closer to reality, knowing all along that it will never coincide. There's always a gap, but sometimes the gap is too small to have accidents. Yes?
How can you check that?
Great question. It's not for me to answer, but if you have an awareness that it's my job, it's my responsibility to check it, then it's a question with which you can go on with your life, checking whether what I think about reality is the reality.
But then
yes?
I will be too focused on checking and I forget living.
Could that happen?
Yes. Even worse, checking in one direction, you will lose all the others.
Yes.
Okay.
And have an accident different way.
Okay. What would you like me to tell you right now? Don't check on reality. Live in your perception. No, I will not say that. Like, do they have road ice here?
Road ice. I don't know what road ice is.
In winter?
Yes.
Icy
road?
Yeah.
No.
Not really, no. Okay, great. On bridges, cold nights, whatever.
Yes.
So
it's not very. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, that's great that it's not very often here, because in driver's perception, I would say generally in France, there is no road ice. Icy
Well,
road.
if you go in the mountains, I mean here in
Yeah,
the
here.
mountains you have here
in general
not
is that.
so much.
So
People know what it is.
in winter, people get in their car out of garage, they don't check whether it holds or not.
Yes.
In mountains,
They do.
they check. When? Every day. It's just their a way of bringing their perception closer to the reality. Some days it's dry and it holds. Some days you just like a cow on the ice. And that's only one thing that I wanted to tell you. Yes?
I think that there are certain situations in which this is pertinent to check. If you go out on a trip, you check your car. If everything is fine, you check the road in slippery roads. And like Klaus's experience in a pond or a lake, which you have never been, you check if there are rocks. But if there are many other occasions where checking becomes very, well, not so
easy to do?
To do, yes.
Unfortunately so. That's why accidents happen. And, yes? Yes, Oscar?
No, just to answer to the explanation of I do think it has a lot to do with thinking. I think thinking is consciousness of discrepancies. I think it's, in a way, nothing else. And of course, that's where to think is to stop living. Yeah? So if you want to live, I agree. When you play, you get into action, maybe you don't do this, but the thinking dimension is consciousness of the discrepancies. So I think in this case, it fits. I would call it thinking, but of course checking, verifying, always being looking at the discrepancy. Yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yes, Nelson.
I imagine myself the following situation: the necessity to check. It presupposes that you're not too sure of yourself.